Let's get to our first day of rehearsal, which was at the Diplomat Hotel at 103 West 43rd Street on the 3rd floor ballroom. And that summer was so hot, it broke all kinds of records. Concrete streets were buckling under and things like that summer. And Hugh Wheeler was an extraordinary writer, and he had this description of Truckload. He said, "Truckload is a musical tribute in this age of overmobility to all those countless Americans in restless transit across the United States. Some looking ahead eagerly, some looking back sadly, some uncertain of the future, some haunted by the past, all of them caught in mid-flight between yesterday evening and tomorrow morning." Rather poetic, don't you think? Pat hired me to be her assistant, and I showed up. I gave warm-ups every day, took Pat's directing and dance notes, and worked with the actors on scenes and with the dancers on the steps. It was 1975, and that's when the little cassette recorders were just coming in. You know, now we take it for granted. We take our iPods and whatever. But I would record everything onto this little tape recorder, and I'd take the tapes home and listen to what went on and what I had recorded so that I could do my homework and show up the next day with some notes and things. And Pat, when I gotta say this, Pat Birch is with us tonight. We have an extraordinary woman who loves people, loves human beings, and knows how to work with them, and can take anybody, and give them steps and make them look good. That's what Pat can do. I remember her saying that she was always up front. Always up front. Her cards were on the table all the time during all the rehearsals. She said something like, if anyone had any gripes, to come to her or our production stage manager, Tommy Smith. She said, let's not have anything festering. Let's deal directly out front. There'll be no secrets and no scuttlebutt. She said, I can turn into Eva Braun if I have to, but we don't want any of that. She said, let's work like normal human beings and have fun. That's what we did. We had fun. She kept reiterating that we have to get to know the people better, so that we care about them and allow them to do the musical number. Because how Pat works, she works with actors. She lets you build the character. And that's how she develops what kind of steps she's going to give you, how she's going to arrange the choreography. Actors first, then we go into the movement. She's a Martha Graham trained dancer. She said, She said just before we were to open at the Lyceum, she said it was getting closer to that time. She said that her juices really flow when she has a deadline. And we had deadlines. We kept working, and every day she'd say to everybody, because we were tired, it was hot, it was more energy, let's keep going, let's keep moving. We had incredible music, which I'll talk about in a minute at Lewis Road. And one of the songs was a Latin song done by two gentlemen and a woman, and it was to a cumbia beat. And Pat brought in a man called Don Di Natale to help us learn the cumbia. So there we were on those hot summer August days doing the cumbia at the Diplomat Hotel. And she said that the whole show should be played like it was cinema verite. These were real people. And if a camera were filming us, it should be not acting, but human beings. She said that the spoken arias or monologues were all private thoughts in public places. And that's what she tried to do. Work with the actors to get that going, to get that humanness happening, so that as we got to know them, the songs would naturally unfold. And Lewis wrote anything. He said, he'd always say to everybody, be dirty. Don't be polite. No nice singing. It should be rough and dirty. He really wanted it from the gut. He wanted us to feel what those people were feeling. They were all people that were running away from something or running to something, you know, with their child, with their talents, with their luggage. He wasn't only the composer, but he also was the dance arranger, the rehearsal pianist, and a performer. We had this enormous big truck that was assembled. We were all taken, the producers set it up so that we could go out to an where the airplanes are, in a hangar, an airplane hangar in Newburgh, New York, where Pete Feller was building this truck. And we went out there and spent, I think it was a day, and we spent the night and worked a bit of the next day and came home the next evening within the truck, how we were going to behave, how we could start to find home, what home was for us huddled in that truck. And Louis was the truck driver. He sat up in the front, in the cab of the truck, with the dashboard. The dashboard was his piano. And he opened the show, and that truck came in. It was, I have goosebumps thinking about it now. That red truck came in, and it turned around on a turntable, I believe, and then we saw the whole truck on the stage, and people started to sing. It was amazing. And everybody was thrilled to be doing the show. The cast was extraordinary. Everybody was, Eileen Graff is also here from the show. She's going to sing something from I Love My Wife, which she also did later on in the show. But Eileen also has wonderful memories about what we did. And it was truly a loving, fun-loving company. And what Louis would do is, as Pat was choreographing different things, Louis also composed the dance music on the spot, as it was happening. And it was amazing. And Pat and Louis both always spoke about diction, about words, and about volume, so that everybody can understand what we were doing. We rehearsed after we were up at the Diplomat Hotel. We went to the Winter Garden Theater for a while, and the American Ballet School. And then we wound up at the Lyceum, back and forth from the Winter Garden to the Lyceum, the Winter Garden to the Lyceum. Floors were slippery at different places. We'd move. And I remember Adela Holzer is of Spanish descent from Spain. You'll remember this, Pat. Debbie Allen was playing a Latina woman. The Latina was a great Latin number that Louis wrote. And Debbie Allen was playing a Latina woman with these two men, and Adela came in and she says, no, you have to stop. She said, when you say that word wedding, I want you to slap your face and say, wedding. And you have that other line, when you say something about the new material, you say the word material. And when you say there, I want you to slap your face. Material. Right? And Debbie was very gracious about it. She said, oh, thank you very much, Miss Holzer. And when she left, we all went, oi. So, she handled it well, she thanked her. I must say, I kind of remember when we got into the Lyceum, we had a lot of sound problems for some reason. We were always talking about sound. And I remember Dick Clark coming in and working with those sound guys so that the mix was really right. You know, it was an extraordinary experience. I've gone on too long about this, but I have to say it was a happy time for all of us, and we all learned an awful lot. And we learned about, mostly probably about loving and letting go. It's good to be here. Thank you.